Yeah, who you gonna call?
Welcome to Five Star Wrestling Fans Podcast. This is episode 4, and I've got a new co-host. Everybody, welcome the Brain, John McDonald. How you
How
doing,
y'all doing?
John?
I'm doing good. Punisher, how you doing?
So far, so good, man. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, sir. So what are we talking about tonight, brother?
All right, tonight we're going to talk about top 10 favorite tag teams with some honorable mentions. And there's going to be some people I've left off you're going to be shocked at, but the reason is because they're not exactly tag teams, but more factions than tag teams. So I consider it to be a little bit different. But here goes. My
All right.
all-time favorite tag team. You already know who it is. The Legion of Doom, the Road Warriors, Animal and Hawk. What's your take on those guys?
To be honest with you, you can't get much better than Road Warriors / Legion of Doom. They dominated every tag team division they ever entered. WWF, NWA, New Japan. You name where they went, they dominated. They held tag team championships everywhere they went.
And they scared their opponents shitless. They come out there, those spiked shoulder pads, mohawk haircuts, intimidating ring entrance themes. You just
Mhm.
knew when you heard the music and they made their way to the ring, somebody was about to get destroyed. Remember the 1986 match, Starcade Scaffold match versus the Midnight Express, Dennis Condrey and Bobby Eaton with Jim Cornette in their corner.
Oh, God.
That was in the Omni in Atlanta.
Oh, I remember that one. I watched that when it happened.
We
I
haven't
remember
seen a
watching that.
scaffold match since.
Nope.
One and only
Jim
unique
Cornette almost got
match.
killed. He almost got killed in that match.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think they consider that to be a little bit too dangerous. So,
Yeah.
but I tell you, that match is just one for the ages. No, okay, number 2 on my list. These guys has had an extraordinary career. They've been tag team champions every single promotion they've been that I know of. The Dudley Boys or Team 3D, Bubba Ray and Devon. What's your
Oh,
take, Brain?
Devon, get the tables.
remember
And then
when?
you
Remember
want to
when
hear the
Bully
funny
Ray?
part about that?
Do what?
That started out as a botch. That started out as a botch on Devon's part. He was supposed to get the table, and he forgot. He forgot where they were in the match, and he forgot to get the table. So Bubba told him, Devon, get the tables. And he shouted it loud enough for the whole arena to hear. And the next time he did it, it happened again. He forgot the tables. And again and again, he kept forgetting the tables. So eventually, it just became part of their act. When they were ready to put somebody down for the count, Bubba would slap Devon in the chest and say, Devon, get the tables! And the crowd would just chime in with it at the same time.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, it's in a. And I remember the look that Bubba Ray used to get on his face there for a while, where he would have that mesmerized look, and I says, "Bubba Ray's about to get wood." I love that. He
Yeah,
would drive somebody through a table, and he was sitting there, and that look, he's mesmerized, and that was hilarious. Love
I
that.
saw them do that live. I saw them do that live at the Raw Wave Rec Center. It was a triple threat tornado tag team match, and one of the tag teams was the Handicapped Heroes. Zach Gowen was on that. Was one of them.
Yes, I remember Zach Gowen.
They actually won. The Handicapped Heroes actually won that match after Team 3D put their other opponents through a table. Zach did a moonsault off the top rope onto the guy and pinned him for the 1, 2, 3.
Number 3 on my list. This is the two-way tie, Brain. The Hardy Boys, Matt and Jeff, and also Edge and Chris.
Oh, wow. Who do you have on in the top slot out of the two? John. Hey, Corp. Well, it seems like John's having some technical difficulties right now.
I'm back. I don't know what happened. So, but
I was
we're
going to
back.
say you froze. You froze up
Yeah,
there.
I know. And I don't know what happened. I mean, I got great internet here at the house, so I don't know why it went.
Could have been just a thing with StreamYard.
But I mean, you was asking me who I would put ahead, Hardy's or Edge and Christian. I mean, this is why I put them both at number 3. If I absolutely had to choose one, I would probably go with the Hardy Boys simply because of their longevity, and they've been tag team champions just about everywhere they've gone. And it's only been recently that Edge and Christian has got back together as Cope and Cage in AEW. Mm-hmm. So I would really probably have to go with the Hardys over the two. But I mean, when you're talking about the last 3 tag teams we've talked about, the Hardys, Dudleys, Edge, and Christian, who could ever forget the triangle ladder match at WrestleMania 2000? I mean, this probably one of the best matches of all time, best tag team matches of all time. People still talking about it. All the high flying going on, the stunts off the ladder.
Off the top of the ladder. The spear off the ladders.
Yeah.
God. And just Jim Ross's commentary. You cannot have those 3 teams in a match without Jim Ross.
No.
And you can't have Jim Ross without those 3 teams.
Right. Oh my God.
God's my witness. He's broken in half.
Right. It's a slobber knocker. I can't. I wish I could talk like Jim Ross, but I can't. I wish I could do an impression of him. I could do some impressions, but I can't do one of him.
Yeah, I know. It's tough.
Okay, no, I don't. A lot of these I just wrote down as they came into memory, but number 4 that I got on my list is okay, I've actually got another two-way tie here. I've got the New Day, Kofi Kingston, Xavier Woods, and Big E, and the Usos, Jimmy and Jay. Who would you choose between these two as the better team?
See, I have to say that New Day is more of a faction.
Okay.
Because they could freebird the titles.
Right.
Whereas Jimmy and Jay were a legitimate tag team. They're twins. they're a legitimate tag team. You know, the New Day was 3 guys, and 3 or more guys I consider to be a faction.
Okay, fair enough. I got you.
Like I'm sure somewhere on your list is another quote unquote faction. You know,
Oh yeah,
that were considered a ripple of artists. And I think you know who I'm talking about.
probably
But we'll get to them.
Demolition.
We'll get to them later.
Are you talking about Demolition?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I've always thought Demolition is like rip off of the
TV
Road
version
Warriors.
of Road Warriors.
Don't get me wrong; they were a great tag team in their own right, and they deserve high praise. But to me, this was a Vince McMahon jealousy type thing where he was like, okay, NWA's got the Road Warriors. I got to do something to top these guys.
Exactly.
And he gets the Demolition together.
Yeah.
And then later on, when he was able to get the Road Warriors into WWE, then he had a heck of a tag match between these two teams. So,
yeah, and Road Warriors destroyed Demolition. They destroyed them. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Yeah.
Demolition became fodder for the Road Warriors.
Absolutely.
As great as a tag team Demolition was, they became cannon fodder for the Road Warriors.
I love that you use the term cannon fodder because my father used to say that all the time when he was alive and he watched wrestling with me. And that if whenever we had guys that was on there that just was horrible and they was getting the crap beat out of them by whatever tag team or whatever other big name wrestler, he says, this is just cannon fodder.
Yep, absolutely. You know what? I think that's our next episode. Next episode 5, cannon fodder of wrestling.
Hey, I like it. I like it. Yeah. So yeah, we can definitely do that.
We could. Good God Almighty, the amount of jobbers we could use in that episode.
Right.
just from the 80s in WWF.
Right.
We got plenty to deal with.
Oh man, even in the old pre WCW days when it was the Jim Crockett
NWA.
Promotions, NWA, yeah, we could do a lot.
Even the AWA had some good jobbers.
Yes.
I mean, I'll put together a list for next week.
Okay.
And we will have ourselves a good old conversation about jobbers. Oh shit! I just realized it.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna have to do the episode on Tuesday.
We'll see what I can do. I'll let you know what I can do if I can do it Tuesday. Yeah.
Because Tuesday's my only day off for the foreseeable future.
Okay. All right. We'll see.
Let's do it in the afternoon on a Sunday. If you're off on a Sunday, and we could do it in the afternoon.
I'll get back with you. I'll let you know.
Figure it out.
Number 5.
Next week's episode, cannon fodder.
Yep. Number 5 on my list, I've got the Hart Foundation. Bret Hart and Jim the Anvil Neidhart. So what do you think of these guys?
See, to be honest with you, I think they should have been a little higher on the list. I think they should have been above New Day and the Usos.
Well, here's my thing. I didn't actually rank the other teams ahead of them. I was just writing down as coming to my mind as I thought of them. So, yeah, okay. I mean, if I had to rank them, it would take me a little while to do this. I would probably be all day because I would probably change my mind 100 times. But When I think of the Hart Foundation, I'm thinking a lot of the big matches they had back in 80s, with British Bulldogs and people like that. And of course, at the
Oh,
time, Hart
absolutely.
Foundation were the heel tag team with Jimmy Hart as their manager, and British Bulldogs was always a favorite when they had their little
Matilda.
bulldog out there. Yeah, Matilda. Yeah, and
I used to love it when they brought the animals to the ring.
I can remember another brain used to say that little mangy mutt.
How many times did that mangy mutt chase Jimmy Hart? How many times did that mangy mutt chase Bobby the Brain Heenan
Jimmy
and
Hart
Slick?
kept in shape. Jimmy Hart kept in shape from running from Matilda.
Yeah. So did Slick.
Yes.
Slick ran from that dog too.
Yeah, I remember Reverend Slick. And I hope and pray Minister Payne, our buddy from PWMF and AEP, is watching.
Oh, you know he's fashioning his whole character after Slick. Come on now.
Yeah. Yeah, for those people wondering who am I talking about? Who's Minister Payne? Well, Corey Francis. He's in our groups, and he starts off his wrestling promos. Welcome, brothers and sisters. Love his promos,
Oh
man.
my God, John, you know how I do things when it comes to characters, and you know when I find something that correlates to two other characters, I break out what's called a love child alert. And you just gave it to me. You just gave me the love
Oh
child alert.
my God! Oh Lord, there, there's
He's
no
gonna
telling
hate
what's
me
going
for this. He's gonna hate me for this.
to.
But Minister Payne, Corey Francis, is the love child of Slick and Brother Love.
Corey, I'm sorry.
Tell me I'm wrong.
I didn't have anything to
Tell
do
me
with
I'm wrong.
this. I did not have anything to do with this.
I think he's gonna get a kick out of it. Oh my God, I've Lord forgive me. I
My
wanted to say
guest
that one,
this week is a man who knows no love.
but you tell me I'm wrong. Come on, with the way he does his promos, you can't tell me any different, bro. You really can't.
Oh man, Corey, I'm sorry. I had nothing to do with this.
You most certainly did. You most certainly did.
Oh God, he's gonna
You
hate it.
brought me into this show, so you did.
He's gonna hate us, man.
He's gonna laugh his ass off. I guarantee it.
Oh Lord. Okay. Number 6, the Steiner brothers, and honestly, this is one of my favorite tag teams ever. Rick and Scott Steiner. And I'm just going to say this. This is before Scott Steiner became Big Papa Pump. And to me, this was the best version of Scott Steiner. Because when he became Big Papa Pump, he got too damn muscle bound and he couldn't wrestle as well as he did when he was teaming with his brother Rick.
Oh
He
yeah,
got to where
without a
he
doubt.
couldn't even do the Frankensteiner anymore. He was too
I
damn
know.
muscle bound.
He got too hot, top heavy. He got way too top heavy.
Yeah, I mean when he was with his brother Rick, that's when he was a much better wrestler. When he became Big Papa Pump, he was he was a better ring entertainer with his character than he was as a wrestler. If that because his character work carried him over and put him over with the fans. When he's with Rick, his brother, as the Steiner brothers, his
The
in
wrestling
ring work
carried him.
put him over.
Absolutely, no doubt about that.
But
Then again, with Rick, his in-ring work was solid, but at times he was clumsy. There was a lot of times that his Steiner lines got way too high. They got up into the throat area. Because we all know that a clothesline is not supposed to hit you in the throat. It's supposed to catch you in the chest and then slide up like it's catching you in the throat.
Let me
A lot of
ask you
times
this.
when he did the jump and to do the Steiner line, he ended up hitting the person right in the throat, which caused a lot of bad feelings between people.
Right. Now you bring me to an interesting question. Speaking of that move, of course, we got various different names for it: the lariat, the clothesline, the Steiner line.
Clothesline from hell.
Right. Who has the best all-time clothesline? We got several to choose from. You got Stan the Lariat Hansen. We got Road Warrior Hawk. We got Rick Steiner. We've got
JBL.
JBL. Yeah. Oh, let's not
Nigel
forget
McGuinness.
Nikita Koloff, the Russian sickle.
Oh shit! Yeah, that was good. That's a good question. But I'll be honest with you. Having grown up watching him, I have to say that Stan Hansen has the best clothesline. Do you want to know why? Because he's nearsighted. When he's in the ring, his eyes are basically closed because he's trying to watch like this. He's not thinking about opening his eyes to see where he's hitting. He sees the opponent and he just swings and absolutely lays them out.
Go back and watch some of the old AWA matches between Stan Hansen and Rick Martel. This is before Rick Martel became the model.
Oh,
those matches were off the charts.
You watch anything of Stan Hansen in Japan, he lived the strong style.
Yes.
He was a strong style guy before strong style was a thing. Simply for the fact that he was so nearsighted.
Yeah, I tell you what, Mark Davis in AEW right now, if there's ever anybody that's a Stan Hansen clone, it's this guy.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt at all.
He reminds me so much of him.
Him and Brody King.
Yes. Yep.
And I'm going to be honest with you. As great of a heel as Stan Hansen ever was, he is an absolute gentleman. Because I met Stan Hansen.
I think I remember you telling me about this, but yeah,
I was working as the medic for GCW, Game Changer Wrestling. We were down in Howell, New Jersey at Game Changer World, and he was there signing autographs. It's about a half hour before the doors open. I had done all my check-ins with all the wrestlers in the back. I talked to the guys up front who was handling the weapons and the camera work and everything. I talked to the commentators, said, everybody good, need anything? Everybody was good. He was sitting at the table. There were a few people in already with their VIP tickets. They had gotten in to see him first. So I went over and I started talking to him. He is such a gentleman. He offered me the seat next to him. I sat down and talked to him for a half hour before the doors opened. We talked about wrestling. I talked about how much I enjoyed watching him when I was growing up. We talked about his time in Japan. We talked about how nearsighted he was in Japan, and then eventually he was able to get a little bit correction done, but he's still nearsighted, so he still needs glasses. And he told me about his daughter and his son-in-law, who are also EMTs. She's a lieutenant with the fire department. He's a sergeant with the sheriff's department. And we had a great conversation. I'll tell you, if anybody ever says anything bad about Stan Hansen and their experience with him, I would tell you to them, what'd you do to piss him off? Literally, what did you do to piss Stan Hansen off? And how are you still alive because you pissed him off?
Right. And do you remember?
I think he wouldn't think twice about clotheslining somebody if they pissed him off.
Oh, definitely not. And I would not want to be the guy that pisses him off.
Oh,
No.
absolutely not.
No,
absolutely not.
Remember that little? I don't know what you would call it. That little yell he used to do when he was in the ring.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, and he'd hold up the bull rope.
Yes.
He had the bull rope with the cowbell on the end.
Yes. I mean, there was a guy.
You did not want to be around when he started swinging that son of a bitch.
No.
And I can't tell you how many times I saw referees bail out of the ring when he started swinging that in the center of the ring.
Oh, yeah, because he would knock you plumb out with that. No doubt.
Absolutely.
All right.
I saw him come diving into the ring with the bull rope one time. And he had a jobber in one corner, and Joey Morella was the referee in the other corner. He started swinging this. Joey Morella went over the top rope, and the jobber went under the bottom rope in opposite directions, because that bull rope was long enough to cover the entire circumference of the ring. It would pass over all four turnbuckles as he swung it.
Wow.
That scared the hell out of me watching it on TV.
Yeah, he was something else. Number 7 on my list. The Midnight Rockers, or just in WWE, the Rockers. Marty Jannetty, Shawn Michaels. And John, I remember back in the day, Marty Jannetty was actually the better of the two when they started out.
Yeah.
But boy, did Shawn Michaels ever pass him.
Marty was the better wrestler at the time, but Shawn Michaels had the better character. And that's why Shawn Michaels was put over and Marty Jannetty was Jannetti'd.
Mm-hmm.
That's why he got the super kick in the barbershop and got put through the window.
Yep.
Because they could do more with Shawn Michaels' character as a heel than they could with Marty Jannetty as a face.
Yeah, and Shawn, he made a career out of turning on his tag team partners.
Oh, absolutely. How many times did he turn on people?
Heartbreak Kid.
Or better yet, how many times did people turn on him?
Okay.
I mean, let's not forget about what happened with Diesel.
Right. Yeah.
And Triple H.
But Shawn had a way of putting people over, and others had a way of putting him over when needed too. So.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, we're talking about
Marty didn't seem like the kind of guy who would put people over. I think when they won the tag team match to win the titles, Marty Jannetty said something, and that pissed people off. So that's why they erased that match. And it doesn't surprise me if he did. So I mean, yeah, Shawn would eventually get the tag titles himself, but the Rockers have never been officially recognized as tag team champions.
The AWA version of the when they were the Midnight Rockers. To me, that's my favorite version of them as a tag team. Back then, I remember watching them in the AWA on ESPN, and they were one heck of a tag team. They might have been my favorite tag team at the time, other than the Road Warriors. And I remember them going up against BADD, Bad Company, Pat Tanaka, Paul Diamond, with Diamond Dallas Page as their manager and brain. When I first saw Diamond Dallas Page, he was this little pencil arm guy, probably not a muscle in his body, as skinny as a mud rail fence. I never, ever would have thought he ever would have made it in wrestling, other than
Oh,
anything else,
he was
other than a
classic.
manager.
He was what classic Freddie Blassie would call a pencil neck geek.
Yes. But he, at the time, he could run his mouth.
He still
And
can.
yes. And when this guy worked, I mean, I tell you what, I have a lot of respect and admiration for Diamond Dallas Page because I've never seen a guy work harder at his craft to get to the level he got to before he finished his career, becoming a WCW world champion, built himself up, had one of the best finishing moves of all time in the Diamond Cutter.
Mm-hmm.
I have so much respect for him. I really do. Seeing where he started and what he became. But I remember that feud between the Midnight Rockers and Bad Company. And that was a tag team right there. If you're not familiar with them, if you go back and watch some of those matches between those two tag teams, it was very fast paced. You can imagine. And they had good in ring chemistry. Loved the matches. Very exciting. One of the best feuds at the time. Number 9 on my no, wait. I
Number
just skipped number 8. Yeah. Okay. You mentioned them earlier. This is one of my favorite tag teams ever. Probably my favorite heel tag team of all time. And I know you consider them as a faction, and we talk about them all the time, even with the Brain Trust freebirding the titles. The fabulous Freebirds, Michael P.S. Hayes, Terry Bam Bam Gordy, Buddy Roberts. Bad Street USA. What do you think of these guys?
See, the best combination thereof was Michael Hayes and Terry Gordy.
I agree. 100%.
I mean, that was the combination you saw 90% of the time.
Mm-hmm.
If you saw anybody else in that combination, it was because one of the other two wasn't able to make the show. Whether they had a personal issue or they were sick or injured. If you saw anybody other than Michael Hayes or Terry Gordy in the match, then you knew something was wrong. And you knew they were going to lose the match.
Right.
Because 99% of the time, if Michael and Terry were in the match, they were winning. Unless it was against another great tag team from Jim Crockett Promotions, WCW, NWA. And I'm sure they're on your list too. If they're not, I'm going to slap you. A tag team that I personally met, the Rock and Roll Express.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. They're coming up.
I was about to say, I will remember the old AT&T commercial? Reach out and touch someone? I will reach through this computer camera and slap you. And you know I will.
But I tell you what, we're talking about the Freebirds. Michael Hayes had one of the best lines ever that I have ever heard in my entire life. One of the best lines. He says, "We are from Bad Street, USA. The further down you go, the better it gets. And we're the last house on the block, Jack."
Oh, I always did love that. I always did love that line.
God, that was
That
awesome. I remember that. I was like, when I heard that, I was like, that is classic.
is classic Michael Hayes.
Yes. One of the best talkers ever on the mic. I don't care what anybody
Oh,
says. He was
please.
gold.
that
Gold.
boy wasn't gold. He was platinum.
Yes.
He was certified platinum when it came to promos.
Let's talk about this. Since we're on the subject of the fabulous Freebirds. Battle of the Bam Bams. Bam Bam Gordy versus Bam Bam Bigelow. Who you got?
Gordy. Bam Bam Bigelow was a great wrestler. He was agile as fuck for a big guy. But Gordy could go. Gordy could go for an hour without even breaking a sweat. Bigelow would be dying after 35 minutes.
The cardio.
The cardio.
Okay.
The cardio between Bam Bam Bigelow and Bam Bam Gordy, there's no comparison. Gordy was rock solid shape. Bam Bam Bigelow was a Bartlett pear in a flame colored leotard.
We never saw this match to my knowledge. Am I right?
Nope, I don't believe so.
Man, did the wrestling promoters at the time ever up?
Oh yeah.
You had a main event right there. You had a it wouldn't have even taken much promotion. You just call it the Battle of the Bam Bams. They screwed up. That's a match that should have happened. All right, number 9. Harlem Heat, Booker T, and Stevie Ray.
Hold.
Okay.
It did happen.
Okay.
October 5th, 1996 at ECW at
What
the 2300 Arena.
you say 86?
96.
96.
ECW at ECW Ultimate Jeopardy. And Gordy lost due to outside interference from the tag team, the Eliminators.
Oh, yes. Perry Saturn and John Cronus.
Yeah.
Okay. So Bam
That
Bam
is a match I'm
Bigelow.
going to have to go back and watch again.
Yes.
I didn't even remember it.
So Bam Bam Bigelow got the win.
The one and only time of the Battle of the Bam Bams.
Okay, yeah. Okay, I know what I'm going to be doing after
Funny
this
if somebody
show.
came out dressed as Barney Rubble.
Yeah.
It would have been funny as hell if somebody came out dressed as Barney Rubble.
Yep. All right. Harlem Heat, Booker T, Stevie Ray. What do you think of these guys?
Booker T is definitely the better wrestler.
No doubt.
Booker
No
T
doubt.
was the better wrestler. He was better on the mic. He just had the better look. Stevie Ray was solid, don't get me wrong. But Booker T had it all.
Stevie Ray was more of a powerhouse. Booker T was more of an all-around wrestler.
Exactly. Booker T could be powerhouse. He could get down and dirty. He could fly. You know? And that scissor kick that he does.
Yes.
Oof.
And not to mention he had the in-ring gimmick, the entertainment, the spin-a-rooney, all that a lot of people like to mimic at the time.
Oh, yeah.
So,
and they
And
still never got the Undertaker to do it.
yeah, so
Man, even the one that Vince McMahon did that was absolutely horrible. It almost broke the Undertaker's character. It almost broke him. But nobody will ever do a better spinneroonie than Booker T.
no, no, he had that down pat. He definitely had it down pat.
Yeah.
Okay, number 10.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I've got a two-way tie between these guys.
Okay.
Midnight Express, Dennis Condrey, Bob Eaton, Stan Lane, any combination of those guys, and the Rock and Roll Express, Ricky Morton, Robert Gibson. Uh, to me, I had to put these teams together because there's no Midnight Express without the Rock and Roll Express, no Rock and Roll Express without the Midnight Express. I think these tag teams made each other what they are today, what they are known to the wrestling world. Because of the feud that these two teams had over the years. And then, of course, you got Jimmy Cornette, you know,
And
one of
that
the
damn
best
tennis
talkers.
racket.
Yeah. I mean, you wanted to see him get his ass kicked every time he stepped foot out in anywhere near a wrestling ring. But
I lost all respect I ever had for Jim Cornette. I lost all respect I ever had for the man. As knowledgeable and as well known for his wrestling abilities, as far as a manager goes, as far as a commentator goes, I lost all respect for him over one simple comment. He made a comment about a friend of mine, and I swear to you, if I ever see Cornette, I will curse him out. I will curse him out. I don't give a damn. They could throw me out of wherever I am. I don't give a fuck. I will curse his ass out.
is this
A friend
something
of
you
mine,
could?
and it came up big time on the internet wrestling community, where G Raver, Brandon Graver, good friend of mine, great guy. I worked with him plenty of times at GCW. He went to do a spot. He went to climb a ladder to do a spot, and he slipped, and he cut his arm open. And he was bleeding pretty bad, to the point where they had to stop the match. And Cornette said something to the effect that, I don't understand why guys like this do this. If he's going to do something stupid like that, he should just die.
Wow.
And when I heard that comment, I instantly lost all respect I ever had for Jim Cornette and his wrestling knowledge. Because if you're going to say that about a wrestler, you don't deserve to have anybody's respect for that. And I will say this to the day I die. If I ever see him, I will curse him out for that.
Wow. Wow.
That fact aside, I have to add one thing to this whole conversation about Midnight Express, Rock and Roll Express. You have to add the Freebirds into that combination. Because those three teams were what led to the Hardys, Edge and Christian, and the Dudley Boys having a triangle feud. Think about it for a second. The triangle feud between the Rock and Roll Express, Midnight Express, and the Freebirds. Because there were times that the Freebirds and the Midnight Express had to fight each other. And they tore their houses down. And then there were times that the Rock and Roll Express would fight the Freebirds.
Right. I get you. Yeah. I mean, that's definitely a fair comparison, because that's probably big,
They
had
were
a
the
big effect.
original triangle feud teams,
Hmm. Right. Right.
which
And
led to the Hardys, Edge and Christian, and Dudley Boys.
when we're talking about the fabulous Freebirds, I mean, when I think about these guys, I'm thinking about the feuds they had with the Road Warriors. The feud they had with the Von Erichs. Wow.
Oh, that was a downright nasty feud. The Freebirds and the Von Erichs.
Mm-hmm. Legendary.
Some of the shit they did to each other could technically be classified as attempted murder. Because
Yeah.
they beat the living shit out of each other in those matches.
Yeah, and I mean, back in the day with WCCW World Class Championship Wrestling at the Sportatorium, Dallas, Texas,
Oh yeah,
these teams tore the
packed
house
houses every fucking time.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't matter who was wrestling.
Right.
It was a packed house, standing room only, tickets sold out. Fire marshals had to turn people away. That's how popular WCCW was.
Right. And
People were coming from hundreds of miles away to go to these shows, only to get turned away because the building was overflowing.
and when we're talking about the Von Erichs, that's one of the teams I'm talking about being like a faction. That's why I didn't include them on my tag team list because there's so many Von Erichs that were a faction.
Yeah, exactly.
And, so I couldn't really include them as a tag team because it could be any combination of the guys.
Exactly.
Back to Midnight Express and Rock and Roll Express. Who would you put above the other?
I would have to put the Rock and Roll Express ahead of the Midnight Express just by a hair, because they seem to have they had a great chemistry. That double drop kick is iconic. Watching them do that on TV was beautiful. Watching them do that live at their age was even better.
Do you remember Robert Gibson teaming up with his brother Rick Gibson before the Rock and Roll Express ever started? They were the Gibson brothers.
I don't remember that, but because as far as I always known, it's always been him and Ricky Morton.
There was the Gibson brothers back in Mid-South Championship Wrestling in Memphis. Back, in the early days, Jerry Lawler, Bill Dundee, all those guys wrestling every Saturday afternoon at 12 noon. But I think Ricky Gibson, I'll have to check on. I'm not sure whatever happened to the guy, but when he got out of the business, and that's when he started teaming Ricky Morton and Robert Gibson together, and they formed formed the Rock and Roll Express. And then, and I tell you, here's another question for you. And I think recently, I believe it was, okay, then shoot, my mind's blank. The announcer for AEW, Tony Schiavone. I think it was when they were talking. Of course, Dennis Condrey just recently passed. Rest in peace. I think he was talking about his favorite version of the Midnight Express was Dennis Condrey and Bobby Eaton. Which version of the Midnight Express did you think was better? Did you think it was Dennis Condrey and Bobby Eaton, or later Bobby Eaton and Stan Lane?
See, each team has their own qualities, but the team that I always saw was Bobby Eaton and Stan Lane.
Mm-hmm.
So, having seen them more, I did see them, Bobby with Dennis, but I saw him with Stan more.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think the Bobby Eaton and Stan Lane combination was a better combination.
Do you remember the team that Stan Lane was involved in before the Midnight Express? And this is a team that barely missed my list.
That I do not remember.
The Fabulous Ones, Steve Kern and Stan Lane. Of course, they were put together by the Fabulous One, Jackie Fargo.
Okay. Yeah, I really don't. I don't remember Steve Kern. So
Steve Kern later became Skinner in WWE, back in
oh, okay.
WWF.
Okay. Okay, now I know who you're talking about.
Okay,
Yeah,
Steve
no,
Kern and
no, I'm
Stan Lane,
sorry.
they used to come out there and they had a it would come out to the music of shoot, Everybody Wants You by Billy Squire. And they would have their little tuxedo type things, a little
Oh yeah. I hated those. I hated that shit.
yeah,
So
but these guys back in Mid South, they were really, really good. But I didn't include them on my list simply because of the longevity. They didn't last as a tag team outside of Memphis. When all that ended, they went their separate ways and they broke off in different, things going on. And okay, now the outsiders, Scott Hall and Kevin Nash, that missed my list simply because I think of them more as a faction with the NWO.
see, I don't. Yes, they're a faction because they brought Hogan in as the third man, and then the faction exploded to like I think they had a total of like 87 members all over the course of the time. But I don't qualify them as a tag team, faction status withstanding, because it was two individual guys and they spent more time doing individual matches than they did as tag team.
But I
And
do
even when they were
remember,
a tag team, it was always three 6-man tag matches. Hit them and Hogan, or them and Savage, or them and whoever.
I would say probably the best tag match I've seen with Hall and Nash was against the Steiners, Rick and Scott.
Without a doubt,
Before,
that was
before,
without doubt their best.
yeah, before Scott Steiner turned into Big Papa Pump.
Right. That was without a doubt the best tag team match that they ever had.
Agreed.
Everything else
Definitely.
was always a 6-man tag match where one of them did most of the work and Hogan stood on the sidelines. And then when it was time for the pinfall, Hogan tagged himself in and took the credit.
Yeah. Typical
Using his
heel move.
creative control, and that pisses me off.
Pissed a lot
Riding
of
the
people off.
coattails of other guys. Riding the coattails of other guys who are doing the work, and then you come in and take the glory.
My least favorite moment of all time was the finger point of doom. Hulk Hogan versus Kevin Nash. Fans
And
got
that was
cheated
done in
that night.
response to Mick Foley winning the championship in WWF.
Fans got cheated that night. We got cheated of a big time match. We actually never got to see Nash and Hogan, a
I
real
know.
match.
That would have been a banger of a match.
Yes.
And I think Nash would have come out on top. If it was anybody other than Hogan, Nash would have came out on top. But because it was Hogan and his creative control bullshit, Hogan had to come out on top.
Yeah.
And then you saw Nash get up laughing like it was a big joke.
Yeah. I hated everything about that.
I think some of the worst things that WCW ever did was that, the NWO in general, and David Arquette.
Oh, God. That last part.
Making David Arquette the world champion
Oh, God.
was pretty much the final nail in the coffin for WCW.
That was horrible.
This is a guy who one of his biggest claims to fame was being Lucy Lou's boyfriend in Charlie's Angels, and his main line was the Chad. The Chad. Do you remember?
Barely.
Where he literally walked out of the cabin on a boat, walked to the bow, and jumped in the water screaming the Chad. And his next biggest role was with Drew Barrymore in Never Been Kissed. Playing her brother. But, I mean, there's so many things that could be said about what went wrong with WCW. We could cover an entire show on that one.
Oh,
that could
yeah.
be episode 6. Episode 7 could be Love Child alerts. And I am waiting. I am going to love it when Corey finally watches this episode.
Oh, I got a message after.
He's going to laugh his ass off, and then he's going to curse us out. Especially me. He's going to curse me out something fierce. I know it.
He'll be doing a promo tonight in one of the groups.
He'll be cutting an entire sermon on me.
Oh God!
Oh my God!
Oh
you know
Lord!
I'm gonna drop that whole thing in the fucking Brain Trust chat. You know I'm gonna drop that in the AEP chat.
Definitely. But
I want to see people's reactions to that.
It's gonna be hilarious.
Oh, it is.
I've got some honorable mentions. The teams all left out of the top 10.
Okay.
Let's see if you remember these guys.
The Bushwhackers.
And before they were the Bushwhackers, they were known as the Sheep Herders.
Yep, I remember that. Yep.
Luke Williams, Butch Miller, Luke and Butch. Oh, cousin Luke. Hey, cousin Butch.
I met Luke.
Did you?
Yeah.
These guys were hilarious.
I had just gotten a crew cut that day. I went to the wrestling show. I got my Polaroid taken with him, and he licked my head.
Oh, I wish I could have seen that. I would have been in tears.
It was hilarious. It was hilarious.
Oh God, I wish you had gotten pictures of that. That would have been so funny.
Hold that thought.
You talk about a Kodak moment. That would have been. Oh man, but yeah, these guys.
Polaroid moment.
Okay, Polaroid moment. Okay. But yeah, I mean, these guys. I mean, they were more. They were a comic act. But I remember when they were the Sheep Herders, though. They were actually a heel tag team. Huh?
They were brutal.
Yeah, they were a heel tag team back then.
I know.
And when they became the Bushwhackers at WWE, they were like a comic act then. Fans loved them. They were hilarious.
You see what I'm holding up?
No, you disappeared on me.
Oh no, you're probably not gonna be able to see it through the camera on the computer. Picture of me in the Rock and Roll Express.
I tell you what, guys, I'll get the Brain to send this to me. We'll post it on our Facebook page, 5 Star Wrestling Fans podcast page. we will post this, and so give us some
I'll tell you
likes
what,
and
guys. I'll
comments.
tell you what. I'll post the link to the album of all the wrestlers I have pictures with or have gotten autographs from.
There you go, guys. Like and subscribe, and give us a like on social media so you get to see some extra stuff. Take care of you. Another honorable mention I got here, Brain, is the Dream Team. Brutus Beefcake and Greg Valentine. What do you think about these guys?
Greg
For
Valentine
me,
was without a doubt the better wrestler.
no doubt. I think both of these guys had better solo careers than they did as a tag team. That's why I left them out.
Yeah.
Another team that I might get beat up for leaving out of the top 10, but I left them out of the top 10 simply because of the longevity. They were stuck as an 80s tag team. The British Bulldogs, Davy Boy Smith, Dynamite Kid. And I thought Davy Boy Smith probably became a bigger star as a solo wrestler. But definitely one of the top 80s tag teams, but they barely missed my list. If I had a number 11, they would have been it. What are your
Well,
thoughts?
if you didn't have 3 ties on the damn list, you would have had them on the list. Without a doubt, Davy Boy definitely was the bigger star. And there's a reason for it. Dynamite Kid had a nasty attitude. He had a very nasty attitude. If things didn't go his way, he lost it. He absolutely lost his mind. And that's why the British Bulldogs kept getting buried. Their tag team reigns were short. Yeah, they had some memorable feuds with Demolition and especially the Hart Foundation, the Rougeaus. They had great tag team battles with them. But their tag team reigns were short because of the Dynamite Kid and his attitude.
Right. Another team I have down as an honorable mention. Scott Hall and Kurt Hennig. They were former AWA tag team champions together.
I remember them as tag team champions in AWA.
Mm-hmm.
2 of the greatest singles wrestlers worked as tag team wrestlers early in their careers and absolutely killed it. If they had come to WWF as a tag team, they probably could have been a better tag team than the Hart Foundation and the British Bulldogs.
Oh, I agree.
But
I
the fact that
definitely agree.
they came later, after the British Bulldogs had broken up, after the Hart Foundation had broken up, and then they both came in as individuals, they had phenomenal individual careers.
But remember before he went to WWE, before Scott Hall went to WWE, he spent some time in WCW as the Diamond Stud.
I remember.
And that didn't go over very well.
No,
at
it
all.
did not. So he left WCW, went to WWF for however many years, and then went back as part of the Invasion angle.
Mm-hmm. And then when that happened,
that's when he got over in WCW.
Oh yeah, yeah. Because I mean, it's one of the NWO, one of the best angles, storylines of all time. I mean, it put like that. It put him in on top for 83 weeks. WCW over WCW Nitro over WWE Raw. So, another faction, D-Generation X, Shawn Michaels, Triple H. There again, I didn't list them as a tag team because they're a faction. We also had the New Age Outlaws as a tag team out of that faction. Billy Gunn and Raw Dog Jesse
Road Dogg.
James.
Yeah.
There again, Raw Dog, one of the best talkers of all time. He had his little one-liners, stuff like that.
Oh, please. He was more off the cuff than some of the guys nowadays.
Mhm.
And again, another tag team that I met and saw live.
Would you put them in a top 10 list? New Age Outlaws.
Without a doubt, I would.
Who would you take off the list that I had?
Probably the New Day.
Okay. I had New Day in there because of the number of title reigns they had. I know they've had quite a few.
Right, and the combined days as champion.
Mm-hmm.
But again, they are a faction.
Right.
They are a faction, and they could freebird the titles.
Right.
You always knew it was going to be Big E and somebody, because you were always going to have Big E in there for the power, and then either Xavier Woods or Kofi Kingston as the high flyer.
Do you think once the New Day debuts in AEW, and I believe they will debut at some point sometime after 90 days, do you think they will have success there? Do you think they need to go back to being a babyface tag team, or should they at some point break off and be a heel tag team again?
To be honest with you, John, they need to be a face.
I agree. 100%.
Because that whole thing when they excommunicated Big E because he can't wrestle anymore because of his neck,
Mm-hmm.
that whole heel tag turn on their part, that was almost as bad as John Cena's heel turn.
Oh, God.
I mean, think about it. They spent how many years as a face team? And then because one of their members is seriously injured and he can't wrestle anymore, they turn heel and excommunicate him from the group.
The fans stopped caring.
Yeah, what did they do with them as a heel tag team? Nothing.
Exactly.
They used them as cannon fodder.
Yes. They lost every friggin' match coming and going. And it just, the fans just really lost interest. It's like they were way more entertaining as a babyface tag team when they was using that, when Xavier Woods is using that horn,
the trombone,
Francesca, and
they were tossing out the pancakes coming out of a Bootio's box.
Yeah.
That was
people
hilarious.
love it. People love that, and for me,
originally, and here's the kicker: originally, they were a good tag team, but everybody was hating on them. The chant started out as New Day sucks, and then eventually they finally got over, and then it became New Day rocks.
Right. I remember
when they turned heel, it went back to New Day sucks.
Yeah, except for the last time, people stopped caring, and it just. But I think with them going to AEW, and they start off as a babyface tag team, and Tony Khan would be a complete dumbass if he makes them a heel tag team. Because I think if they go to AEW, when they do go to AEW, people's going to care about them again because they know they were done wrong in WWE by being let go. Everybody knows that. So the fans are going to cheer for them again simply because they want to see them stick it to WWE. Say, hey guys, WWE, you fucked up. You let us go. Now we're going to show you why you made a mistake.
Yep. They wanted him to take a 50% pay cut.
Yeah. And that's
Fuck,
a slap in the face.
slap. That's a fucking paintbrush. Bang, bang,
Yeah.
bang, 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 bang.
Yeah. You're talking about your a tag team that's been faithful to you all these years.
Yeah.
And has been ambassadors for your company. And
And
you
look at
want
what
to.
Kofi went through just to win the championship.
Right.
That whole thing that Kofi went through to win the championship at WrestleMania 35, only to lose it 2 months later in 14 seconds to Brock Lesnar. That's another thing that pissed me off.
Right.
The fact that they jobbed him out so bad to Brock Lesnar.
One more team that I left out. And this is because, like I was telling you earlier, let's see them as a faction. The Four Horsemen. Arn Anderson, Tully Blanchard.
And then on occasion, you had Ric Flair and whoever the fourth member of the team was, whether it be Ole, Barry Windham, Chris Benoit,
Lex Luger.
You always had another singles wrestler in there as a fourth member.
Right. Now, of course, you take Tully Blanchard, Arn Anderson, they were the brain busters in WWE, but they never had the same feel as they did in the NWA.
Yeah, they didn't have the same impact.
No. But
they had a decent run in WWE, WWF, WWE. They had a decent run. Was it remarkable? No. Decent, yes. But I legitimately can't see them as WWF material. They were made for NWA/WCW.
Yeah, exactly. Definitely. 100%. All the way.
The only reason they came to WWF is because Ric Flair came to WWF.
Exactly.
When Ric Flair left, they left. Ric Flair came back. Arn came back, but Tully didn't. Tully he came back, but he came back as a scout and a producer.
Right.
And then when they started getting interest in Tully's daughter Tessa, and then Tessa's true colors came out, they were like, no. Nope. Or if you will allow me to do an impression. No, not gonna do it. Nope, not gonna do it. A little beaky buzzard there. No.
But tell me if I'm wrong. I think FTR is a modern day version of Tully Blanchard and Arn Anderson.
Oh, no doubt.
If there was ever a tag team that patterned themselves after Tully and Arn, I think it's definitely FTR.
Oh, yeah. Without a doubt. Oh, excuse me.
Because
they definitely are. They are the Brainbusters 2.0.
Yeah, when I first saw these guys, I was like, this is Tully and Arn clones here.
Because you got the guy with the hair in Cash.
And
then you got the bald guy with the goatee and the mustache in Dax. And who's the bald guy? Double A, the Enforcer. Who's the guy with the hair? Tully.
And once these guys' careers are over, and also that's when I may have to rearrange my top 10. Because FTR is probably one of the top tag teams ever.
Oh, no doubt.
already. No
No
doubt.
doubt they are.
But I would have to fit them in my top 10 somewhere.
I think they would probably take the place of Demolition.
Mm-hmm. I didn't actually have Demolition in my top 10, but I got them I have them as an honorable mention.
No, you had them on the list.
No.
Thought you did.
No. We talked about it being a Road Warriors ripoff.
Oh, yeah. So, all right. Well,
but they're an honorable mention. They're probably somewhere in my top 15, but not top 10. What do you think of the Young Bucks?
Not even in the top 25.
Yeah.
They're good. Don't get me wrong. They're good wrestlers.
Mm-hmm.
They're solid wrestlers. But they rely on the super kick way too fucking much.
I agree. And
it's like watching a Gunther match and watching the chop count. You have to watch, when you watch a Young Bucks match, it's a super kick count. If there's anything less than a dozen super kicks, and I'm not talking about double super kicks, individual super kicks, if there's anything less than a dozen, it's a slow match for them.
When you do the same move over and over and over and over, it's not special.
No, exactly.
It's
that's why the RKO is so special. Because it can come out of nowhere. You could be in any position in the ring and he'll hit you with it. Case in point, Randy Orton versus Evan Bourne.
Oh, when Evan Bourne jumps off the top rope and
he does the springboard off the shooting star press into the RKO.
Yes.
That is without a doubt one of the best RKOs I have ever seen. Because Randy Orton's flat on his fucking back. How do you... And all of a sudden, he levitates. It's like he levitates to get this guy. And they didn't practice it. That was a one-time shot. And they nailed it.
Okay, this brings up another question. Because the RKO and the Diamond Cutter are the same move. Which is more effective, DDP's Diamond Cutter or Randy Orton's RKO? Which do you like better?
See, while they're both cutters, Diamond Dallas Page actually takes the time to set his up. He grabs his opponent, he puts him in position, and then he drops him. Randy Orton will hit that son of a bitch out of nowhere, which is why it's called the RKO out of nowhere.
Right.
Case in point, Evan Bourne.
Yep.
Case in point, Seth Rollins. Case in point, Drew McIntyre. It was him and Drew inside the steel cage or inside Hell in a Cell. I don't remember. Drew missed the Claymore kick, and as soon as he got up, Orton hit him with the RKO.
Speaking of Randy Orton, you weren't on the last podcast. We talked about ring entrance themes. Don't know if you saw it, but our buddy
I did.
Killshot was part of the show. Which ring entrance theme of Randy Orton's do you prefer? His current one, Voices, or the one before that, Turn on My Light?
Voices, without a doubt.
He hated the previous one.
Yeah, that's why he asked for the new one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's certainly. I like the other song. Don't get me wrong, but voice is definitely suits his character way more.
Especially when he does the and he goes to that place and he
Yep.
starts pounding the apron. And it's just like, yeah, shit's about to get real.
Yep.
But just to chime in on the topic of ring entrances, there's only one top ring entrance. The Undertaker.
Okay.
That bell, the organ, the fog, the almost ethereal lights. And when he had the druids with the torches.
Nothing more intimidating than that.
I worked WrestleMania 29 as an EMT. I was standing near the tunnel right before his match with CM Punk. CM Punk had already gone out to the ring. The lights went out in the entire stadium. As the lights went out and the gong sounded. It was 75 degrees out at WrestleMania 29. I kid you not, in the 5 minutes it took for him to get to the ring, the temperature dropped 30 degrees. And I'm in the back. I'm in the tunnel area by the locker rooms. I'm wearing a short sleeve uniform shirt. And I kid you not, I had goosebumps. Just from the sheer cold that just enveloped the entire stadium as soon as his entrance started. It was absolutely awe-inspiring and spine-tingling.
Mm.
The man, the aura that man possesses is otherworldly.
Oh
There is
God.
nobody else in the wrestling business, then, now, or forever, that will have a better entrance than The Undertaker.
I agree. I agree because it's just. I mean, what the things he did. I mean, just. I mean, just nothing more intimidating than when you hear that bell and you knew the Undertaker was making his way down to the ring. Just everything about that would just had opponents quaking in their boots.
Oh, yeah.
And remember how spooked Kamala got by?
The coffin.
Oh my God. I've never saw Kamala scared in my life until he went against The Undertaker. His eyes got bigger than
I'll tell
saucers.
you who had a great reaction to The Undertaker when he would do his sit-up thing. God rest his soul. Bray Wyatt.
Oh, yeah.
Because Bray's bent over backwards doing his spider walk towards The Undertaker. And Undertaker just goes like this. And Bray went and flipped back over onto his stomach. Like, what the fuck?
But everyone listening, yeah, go ahead.
Without a doubt, the funniest sit-up with The Undertaker was when he was wrestling Brock Lesnar. They sat up, looked at each other, and started laughing at each other. And then Undertaker grabbed Lesnar by the throat and just absolutely chokeslammed him to hell. Because they're sitting on the mat. They sit up at the same time. Their heads turn towards each other. And Undertaker's eyes are almost white. And he sticks his tongue out and he starts laughing. And Lesnar's just like looking at him like laughing. Undertaker's like,
That was hilarious. I remember that. That was so
went out
funny.
with his hand and whack, grabbed him by the throat. They stood up at the same time, and whoop, boink.
And we've seen all kinds of memes on that too.
Oh, absolutely. You want to talk about a yeet? Undertaker yeeted Brock Lesnar that day. He was like, yeet. He done slam dunked him like a Hakeem Olajuwon, you know? Good God almighty, that boy slam dunked Lesnar.
Well, Brain, do you have any other tag teams you would like to add that we haven't mentioned?
I could throw a couple that are really bad out there that were a waste of space.
Okay.
Well, let's start with Power and Glory. Hercules and Paul Roma.
Yes. Okay. Yes.
Hercules, great singles wrestler.
I agree. Yeah.
Paul Roma, great tag team wrestler when he was teamed with Jim Powers as the Young Stallions.
Mm-hmm.
So therefore, I'm going to say this. The Young Bucks are a ripoff of the Young Stallions.
Okay.
If you were to put Prime Young Stallions against Prime Young Bucks, Young Stallions are beating the shit out of the Bucks every day of the week. And twice on Sunday. My next bad tag team, the Fabulous Rougeaus.
Okay.
Jacques and Raymond.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get me wrong, they were a great tag team, but they were cannon fodder too. They never had a championship run. They were cannon fodder for the higher caliber teams.
Well, when I think of these two guys, the only thing memorable to me about them is when they was doing their promo before our match started. Hi, I'm Jacques, and I'm Raymond, and they had a little cheesy smiles on their face. That's what I remember. I don't remember anything else about these guys other than the cheesy smiles and grins they had.
How about when they tried to turn American?
Oh God, yeah.
They came out wearing the fleur-de-lis on their jackets, but they were waving American flags. And the tiniest American flags you could find.
Yeah, I remember, and that was their heel gimmick at the time.
Yeah,
because everybody knew they were Canadian, and they was like mocking the U.S.
Yeah, and then Ramon got hurt. He couldn't wrestle anymore, so he became one of the French announcers. And then Jacques became the Mountie. And my final cannon fodder team. And somehow or another, 9 times out of 10, their opponents always got stung. The Killer Bees.
For some reason, I was reading your mind because I was thinking about teams back from the 80s that we have not discussed, and that's the team. Jumping Jim Brunzell and
B. Brian Blair.
yes. It's not that they were bad in ring because they had skills.
Yeah.
It's just they were
They
just
came in at a time when the tag team division was at its hottest. You had the Bulldogs, you had the Hart Foundation, you had Demolition. Three of the top tag teams of all time in WWF history. And then you had fodder teams like Power and Glory, the Rougeaus, the Dream Team. The Valiant Brothers.
yep. And do you remember the Minnesota Wrecking Crew? Ole
Oh
Anderson
God.
and Lars Anderson, or Ole and Gene Anderson.
Yeah. The only thing they wrecked was their own careers.
Oh
They
god.
couldn't wreck their way out of a wet paper bag in a rainstorm facing the fucking opening.
Oh man. They were I thought they were they were more mat wrestlers than
Yeah,
anything else. They were good great mat wrestlers as far as using wrestling holds.
they were
There
great
was nothing
technical
flashy.
wrestlers.
Yeah, technical. There was nothing flashy about
No.
them. Nikita and Ivan Koloff, or Ivan and Nikita, I should say.
Same
Uh,
difference.
the Russians, yeah,
The Russian Bears, yeah.
Russian
Oh my
Bears.
God. That was a tag team that a lot of teams feared.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the smaller teams hated working with them because they were so damn brutal.
Nikita is one of the most underrated wrestlers of all time. I
Oh, without a doubt.
never thought
Without
he
a
got the
doubt.
credit he deserved. I
Neither
would
did
have loved,
Ivan.
yeah, hey, yeah, exactly. I just,
Oh. Oh. I just thought of something. I just thought of a tag team that we left off the list that hasn't been mentioned yet.
okay.
The APA.
Oh my God, yes.
How the fuck did we forget about them? All of a sudden, we
Oh
talk about Nikita and
man.
Ivan about being brutal with opponents,
Ron
and then a
Simmons and
match,
JBL.
one single match popped into my head. APA, the Acolytes
Mm-hmm.
versus Public Enemy.
Oh my God.
Remember when Public Enemy didn't want to take the table spot? And Ron and JBL beat the living hell out of him in the ring, went back to the locker room. Public Enemy comes back there and they're still boiling for a fight. And they got their asses kicked again, legitimately. And about 3 weeks later, they were fired from WWE.
Yep. And here's another tag team, one of the craziest tag teams I've ever seen, the Gangstas from ECW.
Mm.
New Jack and Mustafa. Do you remember when New Jack jumped from the balcony of the ECW arena, landed an elbow drop? I can't remember who his opponent was, through a table. That
Oh,
was
yeah, I
one
remember
of
that.
that was one of the sickest, craziest things I've ever seen in my life.
What about when New Jack threw his opponent off a scaffold and he almost missed the ring completely? And you know what he said? Didn't push him hard enough. New Jack was a fucking maniac.
Yes.
He was more of a maniac than Sabu.
That's saying a lot.
Yeah, it is. When New Jack would kill you without even blinking. Without even blinking and without breaking a sweat, he would kill you to win a match.
Another tag team, the Eliminators, Saturn and Cronus. I think we actually mentioned them earlier.
Yeah, because we were talking about the Battle of the Bam Bams, and they interfered in that match. So, what about another cannon fodder team? The Headbangers.
Yep.
Mosh and Thrash.
Yeah, I remember them.
And then you had the Ascension.
Yep. Insane Clown Posse.
I'm going to go with a faction here that really only one person made it out of. Spirit Squad.
Yeah. Dolph Ziggler was the only one that actually made it.
Mm-hmm. I'm telling you, the way we're talking right now, we're setting up the next 4 or 5 episodes. Without a doubt.
Yep.
I mean, we got cannon fodder, we got love child alerts, we got worst tag teams of all time, we got finishing maneuvers. We got the next 4 episodes set up.
And there's a lot of things we just mentioned that you just mentioned just now, or some things that we've had requests for, from group members in PWMF and AEP.
And I'll tell you
Wow.
what, ladies and gentlemen, I guarantee you we will get to your requests. Within the next few weeks and months, we will get to your requests. If you have any others, let us know.
And we will continue.
We're happy to talk about them.
And we will continue covering premium live events, pay-per-views, and giving our predictions on those. So may even do some recaps of some of the shows. So we'll see.
Yep, absolutely.
But John, Brain, great job. Been fun tonight.
Thank you very much. Oh yeah, definitely had fun.
So
then again, I always have fun when I'm talking about wrestling.
Same here. So,
and if anybody's still starving for wrestling and wrestling talk, I also have a podcast, the Brain Trust Wrestling Podcast, also on YouTube. We go live when we do it, so you can even comment in the chat.
So definitely everybody check that out as well. And till next time, I'm the Corporal Punisher, and for the Brain.
And I'm the Brain.
Peace out, everybody. Thanks for listening. Sweet.